Before you comment, before you get emotional, I need you to do one thing. Listen to this video until the very end, because what I'm about to say will challenge a lot of narratives many Africans repeat without thinking. If you are new here, welcome. And this platform is where we have honest conversations about Africa, history, and African accountability. And if you are returning, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. Now stay with me until the end, because this conversation is necessary. Many Africans today love pointing fingers at South Africa and shouting xenophobia. But the truth many people do not want to confront is that a lot of those same Africans come from countries that are deeply xenophobic themselves. Let us be honest. In many African countries, people are already hostile to their own people because of tribe. Look at Nigeria, for example. You hear Yoruba against Igbo, Igbo against Hausa, Hausa against Fulani. In other countries, it is the same story. Tribe against tribe, ethnic group against ethnic group. So someone who is tribalistic inside their own country suddenly becomes the moral judge of South Africa. That is hypocrisy. If you cannot tolerate your own brother because he comes from a different tribe, how do you suddenly become an expert on xenophobia in another country? Now let us talk about another argument people love repeating. They say white people built South Africa. First of all, let us ask a simple question. Even if white South Africans built parts of the economy, what did they use to build it? Did they bring gold from Europe? Did they bring diamonds from Europe? Did they bring platinum from Europe? No, they used South African land, South African minerals, and the labor of black South Africans. So the idea that white people magically built South Africa alone is historically dishonest. Now let us flip the argument. If you say white people built South Africa, what does that say about the rest of Africa? Because most African countries have been ruled by black leaders for more than 60 years since independence. Black presidents, black ministers, black governments. So if your country is still struggling today, blaming white people in South Africa is not an argument. It is an excuse. Instead of insulting South Africans online every day, Africans should start asking their own leaders serious questions. Why are our economies weak? Why are our industries collapsing? Why are young Africans risking their lives crossing deserts and oceans to survive? Here is another uncomfortable truth. South Africa remains one of the most industrialized and economically powerful countries on the African continent. If South Africa's economy collapses tomorrow, Africa's economic position globally becomes even weaker. So we have to ask an uncomfortable question. Are some Africans criticizing South Africa because they want solutions or because they secretly want South Africa to fail? Because sometimes it sounds less like concern and more like jealousy. Every country has problems. South Africa has problems too. But South Africa's problems should be addressed by South Africans. Africans cannot claim they love South Africa while constantly insulting South Africans without listening to them. That is not solidarity. That is arrogance. If this is how we think African unity will happen, then we are joking. Unity cannot come from insults. Unity cannot come from hypocrisy. Unity must come from accountability and respect. Now let me leave you with 3 questions. If South Africa is the worst country in Africa, why do millions of Africans still move there for work and opportunity? If white people built South Africa, what have black leaders been building in the rest of Africa for the last 60 years? And if you cannot tolerate another tribe in your own country, how do you suddenly become an expert on xenophobia in another country? These are the questions many people avoid. My name is Temesco Historic, and on this platform we talk about Africa honestly, without fear and without hypocrisy. If you listen to this video until the end, I appreciate you. Share your thoughts in the comments and let us have a real conversation. And if you want more honest discussions about Africa, history, and leadership, make sure you follow and share this video with someone who needs to hear this conversation.
Yeah, guys, after a long time, it's finally happening. One of them is telling them truth in their faces. One of them is spitting truth in their faces. I'm sure they are hating him wherever they are, but truth always wins. Even if you are 100 of them lying on each other, deceiving each other, and one has the honest truth, he will win, because truth always wins. He says, uniting starts with accountability. You can't, as a Igbo person, hate a Hausa person and think that you will be united with the Zulu people or Xhosa people in South Africa. You can't hate Shona people or Ndebele people and think you will love South African people. Start by loving your own people. Start by uniting with your own people in your country. Start telling truth to each other before you preaching unity, before you start calling South Africa names and insulting them. It is 2026 now. As black people, we must wake up, especially poor black people. Let's stop being deceived by those politicians who are pushing their agenda to benefit from this chaos that is happening in our country. Most of those politicians like Julius Malema who are preaching borderless Africa, they are looking profit. They are looking to expand their businesses. It's not for the care or for the black people or poor people's interest. Because even the most civilized countries, most rich countries don't preach borderless. They don't allow anyone to just come in their country without documentation or without them benefiting their countries. A government that is wise won't allow people to just come in their country without knowing what are they bringing to their country. What will they contribute to grow the economy of that country? But in South Africa, our government welcomes anyone, even worst criminals. Shout out to this brother who's honest. God bless him. We need more of people like him who will spit truth like as it is and not sugarcoat. Because how come you come all the way from Nigeria and come to protest in South Africa while you're scared of your own government? You can't come all the way from Zimbabwe hating Shona people and come to South Africa and tell us that we must unite. Charity begins at home. Unite with your Ndebele people. You can't run away from your Zimbabwean division and come here in South Africa and preach unity. It's about time as black Africans we smell ourselves and tell ourselves truth and take accountability and be responsible for any mess that we create. Thank you guys for staying till this far. Please don't forget to like, share, and please subscribe if you are not subscribed. Thank you.
Tusikiele